Hello, this is Julie Silver Stitches. Welcome back. It has been far too long of a break. Last time I filmed was April 26th. Today is June 6th. It's been a little bit. Anyways, I want to let you know that everything is absolutely fine. It's just we had to clean out. Didn't have to. Wanted to try and reorganize the spare bedroom. So everything in the spare bedroom that we didn't want in there anymore kind of came out here. Everything was a disaster. And here we go. So this is about cross stitch. This isn't about organizational skills of life. So welcome. My first project up is what I mainly worked on for the month of May was Mini Watching the World Go By Lucy Pitaway from Heaven and Earth Design. It is now retired. She is now retired from Heaven and Earth Design, but here we go. And this is where we're at. I know that you guys have seen this before many times, but I mainly worked on the bottom half. As you can see, down here, I filled in the rest of that tree up there, started working on the tree on the bottom, and filled in all of the green. And then I came over to this side and I brought it down a little bit and started working underneath the sheep. We're almost there, people. We're almost there. Okay. The next thing that I had been working on, but not intentionally, came out of this magazine. We spent maybe a day or two on this project. It was Cozy Winter Mugs by Karen Bowen of KEB Designs. So I'm doing this on a 14 count piece of Fiddler's Ada. Oops, sorry buddy. Alright, and I'm using Roxy Flosco threads. That is Skitters, if you've never met him before. He is my biggest cat. And here we go. So, I have 3 cats. Okay, so there's a story about this. I have a mini middle finish. I finished the middle mug. Plus I stitched winter. So that is there we are. So before this, I had the whole mug done, but I only had part of the handle, and winter definitely was not there. So then when that was finished, I picked it up and moved it over. This is the handle. So the handle's going to go this way. This is how far the design is going to go over. So that's good. Because then I will have a lot of space for the whole project. But the one thing is, this dark blue is 1/1, and this light blue for the next mug is 2/1. Mugs are different. It doesn't matter. We're all okay. But I am using a spectrum of Roxy Flosco flosses, the original Leo and Roxy versions. How's everybody been? While I semi-clean this up. Alright, and in no particular order, we're going to keep going. So, I then realized that I had stitched on Mill Hill's Witch's Brew, just because. I don't know the reason why. And I didn't do a lot of stitching, but I did end up bending the thing. Okay, I did end up filling in the, oh man, this side. So this side is all filled in. And there we go. So, yep, that's that. Ta-da! I like this one. This one's coming along really nicely. It's really fun. Get in the thing. Come on. Super sunny. Windows open. AC is off. because the AC is ridiculously loud. I can't compete with it. All right, those are done. Let's just put those there. What's next? Anything? What's next? Okay, so now we're coming up to not current time yet. Hold on. Whoopsies. Okay, so the next thing that I had started that I had showed you last time, but I was only like a few stitches in because I had only started it like the night before or something, but comes out of this book. This is 365 Tiny Cross Stitch Designs. And I am eventually going to stitch the Birthstone Fairies. Right now I am stitching June, so I'm stitching this one, that middle one, right, like that one right there. And of course I didn't, no, I don't have the picture because they're just the charts. Actually, they're not just the charts. Hold on, let me see if I can go to June. So in reality, if you wanted to, you could do this whole book, one project a day. It's pretty snazzy. April, May, June. Where's the June? Of course she's in the corner. Okay, so if you can see her, she's right here. So this is eventually maybe what she'll look like. And I didn't put my phone on airplane mode. Anyway, so at one point, I had cut off a piece of very long fabric from a, you can't even get it on the screen, from a cutoff from a full coverage. Pretty sure it goes this way. And then I decided, what am I going to do with that piece of fabric? It's massive. And so I decided, I picked up this book at my, it's a thrifty kind of, vintagey kind of store. Anyway, flea market is what I'm trying to say. And so now we're here. I don't know how many stitches. I don't know where I left off. I don't know what you saw last time, but this is where we're at now. And that's all I can tell you. Anyway, so I found this book plus another few more books that I think I flipped through last time, but at the flea market store that's just down the street from me, that's open only 3 days a week. I've decided I would like to try a new stitching method, but new stitching plan, because I'm not really following anybody else's plan, so, or games or whatever, so it's going to be Julie's way for the next little while. So this goes back in here for some reason, so that if I have to, I will film again. Okay, what is in that one? That was that. Okay, so now we're going to fast forward to normal time and tell you what I was stitching on just starting yesterday. I started a new stitching rotation. I brought my tablet this time compared to the last video, the one that I filmed this morning that I deleted. So what's going to happen is I took out all 16 full coverages that I want, 17 full coverages that I wanted to work on. And I created sheet one. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because, why would you be able to? An Excel sheet. Oh, jeebers, what are we doing? Okay, don't know. Cool. Okay, so an Excel sheet that has all 17. Anyway, all 17. And then I have designated a number anywhere from 25 to 425 stitches. Just so that I'll be able to touch all of my works in progress for full coverage. So, did that. Started out yesterday with Mini Sunflower Cottage by Donna Gelsinger. Can't tell you where I was before because at one point I was stitching this one strand a day. So essentially I was stitching all the blue. Now I am stitching in the, I'll show you where I was at first. Hold on. Let me try and wrangle one of the biggest pieces of fabrics of my life. Okay, not really, but you understand. Okay, so here we are. This is the whole thing that I've stitched so far. All of the blue essentially was one thread per day during the pre-surgery, post finding out the fact that I had cancer. So all of that blue was stitched in between like February and just before April. I think I stopped stitching essentially at the end of March. So what happened? Okay, so but yesterday I put in 225 stitches. Yep. And starting to fill in the clouds, because if I never fill in the clouds, then I'm never going to get to them. So I am only missing one color in the round here. Started, you can't really tell because it's 3865, but I'm starting to fill in here. That cloud. This cloud was a thankfully different color. It was already stitched in. I just needed to go around the outside. Again, just missing one color. But that was the 225. And so I decided I wanted to spin again because that was only partway through the day yesterday. So when we had a rest day yesterday. So yesterday I also worked on this. This is from a random stitcher, and she designed this sometime late last year, I think. And this is the Hidden Disability Sunflower. So this is where I was. I'll do a side by side. So here I am now. Here, goes this way. So I essentially 300 stitches, because that's what the color was. All of the yellow, essentially, is what I did. All of the green was already there, so I'm just color completing as I go. When the yellow's done, then I'll move to the next color on the inside and, all the way through. I did have a counting error, and I finally figured out where it was. It was all the way down here, so something over here already is messed up, but is what it is, right? Can't go back. I'm not going back. So because I enjoyed that so much, I also then decided this morning, last night, to do the same thing, but for all of my non-full coverages. Okay, so there's 40 of them that I chose to do because I took out some of them. They weren't calling to me, versus I couldn't divide it well by 25. So again, anywhere between 25 and 100. I did that 2 times, and then I did, I think I did 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 70, and an hour. Oh my goodness. And spun the wheel, 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 put them all in. So every day I will randomly spin the wheel to see what number I go to. I've already done today. I'm not going to show you because I'm going to do that for next video. So I've already done my stitching for today, but I won't tell you which one it is because I'll, wait till next video. But, and I already have my call for this for my full coverages. That'll be exciting. That should be a few days worth because that's a difficult project for me, at least. The other day I was texting, messaging with Tess Stitches, and she is going to film a video, hopefully, cross your fingers, starting in July. She's been away from Flosstube for a very long time. She's been working on one project, but it's massive, and I can't wait to see it finished. It's been years in the making, but she has, last year she decided that reading was more important than stitching. Anyways, but I will get to that again later. But so she decided to read instead of make floss tubes. Cool, whatever. And so now she's back on the floss tube train, so hopefully she'll make one in... Anyway, so we were talking yesterday, or texting, and I told her that I'm going to title my first video back because I knew that I hadn't had a video since April. Stitching through the hot flashes. I don't think I'm actually going to name the video that, but, you know, it's a true thing. It's a true thing. Anyway, and then I was talking to a random stitcher this morning, or she left a message on her Facebook page saying, that's great progress. When are you going to make your next video? And I was like, I don't know. My family room's a mess. Like, we were doing all these things. My couch is a mess. There's nowhere to sit. Like, the whole thing, right? So, but here I am. Second round today. Hopefully this one will go through. So I'm going to try and get done, be finished before, you know, in the next few minutes, because it cut out last time and it didn't want to film and come together. So if I only have to add the videos or add the pictures instead of do all the things, we'll see. So all this talking is too much. Okay, so that was all my stitching. My new plan is to spin the random number spinner for 1 to 40 and then 1 to 17. So I already have my 2 projects today. I've already stitched on my first non-full coverage. So I just have a full coverage left to stitch on. That might take a few days because it's 400 stitches and I want to see it finished, but it's not my favorite project. You know, one of those kind of things. So it might take a few days, but that will be a surprise for the next video. I did have a finish. I did have a few finishes actually, but one was very exciting. I will show it to you right now as soon as I can see it. There it is. I was able to, hi skaters, I was able to be at the cottage trailer. I have a trailer, not a cottage. Be at the trailer and not have a few great days in a row of outside time kind of thing because it was raining or cold or yucky or any of those words. So because around here we're more having, you know, fall type weather than spring type weather, but you know, it's spring, so anything can happen. So I ended up fully finishing, not fully finish objecting, but fully finishing this little guy. He's Spot. He was stitched for a very long time because of this big glue, my little skitters. He's very interested in all of the beads, so I was not able to bead here, but I did end up getting him finished at the trailer where Skitters is not, and so his horns are done. There's beading all through the orange spots. Top of his little feet are done. He also has beads on his teeth, so I don't know how you can see it best, but he's done. So I don't know how to fully finish him. I mean, yes, I can cut him out and do all the things, but I don't know what I want to do with him yet. So he might just be a trailer buddy. I need to bring up more beaded, almost finished objects, just like Snail. Snail is almost ready to be fully beaded as well. So he's gonna join the beaded party at the trailer, I think. And I had 2 finishes at the trailer already this year because of the inclement weather. I got them a couple years ago at the Dollaramas. So one I call I call short-tailed dark-headed bluebird because the when I had started it a few years ago, I had stitched the tail too short, and therefore I don't know what happened to all of the, whatever color that is, 996 or 995 or whatever color that is. And then when I picked it up a couple weeks ago, I didn't have that color anymore to finish its head, therefore it's the darker blue. And then that blue is also supposed to go inside the middle of the flowers, that lighter blue. I didn't have it, so therefore that other color, that peachy color, went inside the middle of the flowers. Life happens, it's fine, right? So that's going to stay up at the trailer. And then I also finished what I call a circle of flowers. Let's just call it that. Because why not, right? So I started that this year. I finished that this year. It only took 2 or 3 days of stitching. So they came with the hoop, they came with the fabric, they came with the 2 needles and a threader, although I don't really know how to use a threader at all. So those are going to stay up at the trailer, but ta-da! So that has been my life in a nutshell. I am healing well. It's been 9 weeks since my surgery, almost. It'll be 9 weeks on Monday. So I'm back to almost normal for lifting, for, I'm walking far more than I used to walk. I'm drinking a whole lot more water than I used to drink, even though, I'm drinking my ice cap coffee right now. So yeah, so my plan going forward for the next little while is probably filming on Friday mornings before the trailer, because this is a not normal day because we have an appointment for James in the afternoon, and then we might head out after that, or we might head out Saturday morning. I don't know. And then, but filming on Fridays, I think, because by the time I get back on Sundays, I'm exhausted and I'm just tired. So that's it. That's all for me. I hope you have a great day. I know this is a short video, but I want to try and get in between that. Hasn't cut me off time yet because the last time I filmed a few hours ago, the file ended up being corrupted somehow. So have a great day. Have a great rest of your June, although it's only June 6th, so I most likely will see you again next week. Bye everybody. Sparkle and shine.